Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys. Another beautiful morning underway. Not a cloud in the sky that I have seen so far, and it's going to remain that way for the next few days. We're going to hit a high of 80 degrees today as we'll give you the extended forecast here in just a few moments. And also keep in mind, school buses are out and about. Please be aware as you're going through the school zones and give those buses a wide berth. We're going to say good morning to Dr. Cindy Lewis. She's the director of Keys Marine Laboratory. And good morning to you, Dr. Lewis.
Good morning, Mike. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Another beautiful day on Long Key right outside of Layton at the Keys Marine Laboratory. And a lot of people were able to see the Marine Laboratory firsthand back earlier in March for the open house. We had talked about that, but I understand it was a success.
It was. We had probably more than 100, 150 visitors to the lab for the 2 hours there, and they got to interact with 8 or 10 different conservation and restoration groups that had their displays up, all these interactive displays, and it sounded like it was a real success talking to the people there.
Excellent. Well, speaking of groups, now the Keys Marine Laboratory it hosts a lot of different groups from really around the world as you serve as a full-service marine field station here in the heart of the Florida Keys, and we've talked about it before. But Keys Marine Lab offers that unique opportunity for college level make that education and researchers studying the only tropical marine ecosystem in the continental United States. It really is a unique setting, a unique opportunity, and more groups are coming to the Keys and Keys Marine Lab. Let's talk about a couple of those as of late and what is the purpose of their visit.
Well, we've had a couple new groups that have never been to KML before. One group in particular from the University of Miami. They brought their field class down for a week in December. They were studying marine invertebrates. So they were looking under rocks and everything out in the ocean, looking at crabs and urchins and those kinds of critters. And it was an upper level class that came down. They really enjoyed the facility and they talked about coming back again next year.
Yeah. So, Doctor, are some of those species in peril given the health of the reef and our ecosystem overall?
Maybe not, but they're looking at crabs and urchins and certainly lobsters and stuff. But some of these smaller critters, particularly the long-spined urchin, has been in peril since the 1980s, and there's a lot of aquaculture going on to try to reintroduce them back to the reef. They're important grazers. So those kind of critters are important, and there are people that study them.
Yeah, of course. And studying them and understanding them is the key to preserving them as well. And Keys Marine Laboratory continues to work in that vein. Of course, KML, operated by the Florida Institute of Oceanography, a consortium of 34 universities, institutions, and state agencies, including State University System of Florida. So you do have a lot of researchers in and out of the facility on an ongoing basis, including some of the other groups that you mentioned. Anybody else of note? I know they're all important, but what other research projects have been going on through groups or individuals as of late?
Well, we have a new one that will be coming in another month or two, actually from New College of Florida. And this is a graduate student working with sharks, shark research, and specifically looking at the brevetoxins and their effects on sharks. And this student is also part of the Minorities in Shark Science group. So this is a woman who's beginning her career in shark research. So she'll be visiting KML for the first time. And we don't often have people from New College exploring KML. So this will be a first for her and for New College coming to KML.
Interesting. So the website for KML, again, associated with the state of Florida, the Institute of Oceanography, the website being fio.usf.edu. And I do see there's a tab there to request reservations. So there is the opportunity for groups who qualify to come to KML for the first time and to apply for that. Is that right?
Yeah, and then our administrative staff will work on scheduling them, seeing what it is what activities they want to do and how we can best accommodate them.
Mm-hmm.
So process for contacting us, but you can always pick up a phone and call us too.
Yeah, of course. And what is that phone number?
Area code 305-664-9101.
Very well. Dr. Cindy Lewis, she's director of the Keys Marine Laboratory on Good Morning Keys, right there in Layton. Some people, well, everybody passes by it from time to time, but there's a lot of activity ongoing that happens there that people may not realize. There's also construction going on as well.
Yeah, not in Layton, though.
No. Okay. Yep. But it's my understanding. Yeah, and maybe I was misspoke, but there are some upgrades going on at the facility there, or is that happening elsewhere?
It will be happening at the facility. We're in the fundraising mode right now to basically take down our old buildings and put up elevated, storm-hardened, resilient buildings so that we can continue the work that we're doing. And it will also allow us to expand capacity for more students and more researchers.
Yeah, and I should have put that in the future tense. We will have construction happening in Layton, just not yet. We are in the planning phases. Funding for that, is that state provided, federally provided? Where does that come from?
All of the above. We've been exploring state as well as some federal funding, and then we have some philanthropic and private donors who have become involved with KML, excited about our future, and they're stepping up.
Okay. Well, hopefully the climate and the temperature is such that, using those as euphemisms, but hopefully you are getting a warm reception to requests for funding because, yes, we need to continue to make your facility resilient so that we continue the work and research that is going on there. But really, the mission started back in the 1960s, it's my understanding, where the Florida State University system was working to balance the need for greater scientific knowledge and the scarcity of programs and resources. We've come a long way since then.
Yes, we have. And the inception of FIO and the consortium was back in the 60s, although Keys Marine Lab actually came on board in the 1990s, 1991, when the property was purchased from Marine Lab, Orlando, SeaWorld.
Oh, really?
So it used to operate as a tourist attraction for people to come in and see some of the different animals on the property, and then SeaWorld sold it to the state for it to become a marine field station.
No kidding. And that is the Layton location we're talking about?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I did not know SeaWorld was in the Florida Keys at one point. Very interesting. Well, that understands the layout of the facility, and it seems like it was tailor-made for your purposes as well. So very good. Well, again, Dr. Cindy Lewis with us, Director of Keys Marine Laboratory on Good Morning Keys. And you have groups come in all summer long, all year long. Is that right?
Yes, we do. And basically a revolving door, probably 150 different groups that amounts to more than 800 students and researchers that come through and utilize us. We've had a couple groups from as far away as Yale and Harvard doing some first-time work at KML. And at the moment, we have a group from University of California, Santa Barbara on site doing some work with coral disease transmission.
That's an important topic as well. And it all highlights, how the Florida Keys is really in the spotlight worldwide, given our unique proximity to a number of different ecosystems, but also the need to protect those ecosystems. So we appreciate your leadership and diligent work in that vein. Dr. Cindy Lewis, Director of Keys Marine Laboratory on Good Morning Keys. Well, Dr. Lewis, is there anything else we should mention here this morning?
Well, that's about it. I certainly appreciate the dedication and passion of all of these researchers and the students that are coming along to learn about the marine environment and develop their own passion for it.
Well, and you have raised generations now, actually, of oceanographers and researchers, as well as those who just simply appreciate our ecosystem that much more. So thank you for that, Dr. Lewis. You have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Dr. Cindy Lewis, she's director of Keys Marine Laboratory. On Good Morning Keys, well, good morning to you. It is now 8:18. We'll be back in a moment. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys.
The Greenhouse. Have you been there yet? We even spell it with 3 E's to help you smile when you say it. That's our goal. We carry the largest selection of hemp-derived THC and CBD products in Monroe County. If you've been taking medication for anxiety, depression, inflammation, lack of sleep, or muscle and joint pain, and it's just not working, or you don't like the side effects, we can help. If you're looking to chill, relax, escape, focus, or even break out into euphoric fits of laughter, we can help there too. No medical card is needed. You just have to be 21 or over. Our 3 locations are open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. In Key West, we're at 431 Front Street, just in front of Mallory Square. In Marathon, you can find us at mile marker 52 at 10875 Overseas Highway. In Key Largo, we're at 99304 Overseas Highway in the middle of the road. Swing on by, share your goals with us, and we'll recommend a product to help you reach them. And we back our recommendations with a 100% money-back guarantee. The Greenhouse. Stop on by and find out what the buzz is all about today.
Visit one of the 12 locations of the Greenhouse, including 9 in the Keys and featuring their newest store at 3128 North Roosevelt, Key West.
Here it comes, April 15th. It's time to file and pay your taxes again, unless you haven't in a year or 2 years or many years. I'm Miami tax attorney Steve Klitzner, and I want you to know you are not alone. The IRS has no sympathy for you, but I do, because I deal with this problem every day for my clients. Millions of Americans have fallen behind due to mistakes or being totally overwhelmed and in way over their heads. If you can just get this problem under control, everything else would fall into place. There may be a way to get your life back by making this the year you take steps to end your IRS nightmare forever. Call me today for a free consultation at 305-682-1118. I'm not some mystery attorney in another state. I'm right here in South Florida to help you. 305-682-1118. That's 305-682-1118.
It's time for a new point of sale system for your business. But you say, I can't afford a new system, so I'll just put up with another year of high processing fees and no service or support. Hi, I'm Mike Kraus, president of Sales Sense Payments and resident of the Florida Keys. And I'll give your business a free point of sale system. That's a value up to $10,000. All that we ask is that you process your credit cards through Sales Sense Payments. No gimmicks or contracts. After you and I meet for a consultation, which is also free, Sales Sense Payments will set up your business with the most cost-effective point of sale solution using more than our 25 years of experience and relationships with more than 20 vendors. Start the year off by saving money and processing fees with a free point of sale system from a local company that consistently delivers local support and transparency in the Florida Keys. That's Sales Sense Payments. Call me, Mike Kraus, at 305-723-1234 to get started. 305-723-1234 or visit us online at salessensepayments.com and check out our 5-star review on Google.
Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Beautiful morning here in the Florida Keys at about 8:21 now. And thank you for joining us. We also want to thank our next guest. It is Mr. Brian Barroso. He is the city manager for the city of Key West. Good morning, Brian. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Michael. Thank you again for the opportunity to join you.
Yes, sir. Thanks so much. I know you're a very busy guy here as of late, always, but we've got a few different topics we want to bring people up to date on. And by the way, the business community in the form of the Chamber of Commerce and the general membership meeting will be hearing from the mayor, and you'll certainly be in attendance as well. It seems like you always get the hard questions when it comes to question time, but we appreciate your thick skin there and continued service in sometimes a thankless job. But nonetheless, we will be hearing the state of the city at the luncheon here today, and a few maybe sneak peek highlights of that we'll be talking about today. So thanks for being here. But We, of course, joined by Brian Barroso, City Manager, with some updates on affordable housing, major infrastructure improvements, community partnerships, and the people who make our city strong. So there's the Cliff Notes versions. Let's get into affordable housing, hope and progress in Bahama Village. You know, it was released that A.H. Monroe just changed their name to Health and Housing, I believe, which are their two big initiatives. They were, and I'm varying just a little bit, but they were one of the partners with the city of Key West in providing affordable housing in the lofts in Bahama Village. But Habitat for Humanity now joining the city of Key West for a special groundbreaking also in Bahama Village, a new single-family homes on Emma Street. So let's talk about that.
Wow, what an amazing opportunity. So yes, AH continues to be a great partner with the city and our community. But as it pertains to this particular project, this was a groundbreaking project that not that new homes in the community in and of itself is not significant, but this was at a special meeting. So we were actually joined by Habitat for Humanity. We were joined by the Truman Foundation. BVRAC was also there, and the Key West Housing Authority. So we had a great collection of entities that are dedicated to this community. But in addition to that, we had 5 descendants from U.S. presidents also participate in the groundbreaking. So they were families from Harry Truman, Gerald Ford, Jimmy and Rosalind Carter. They stood alongside our community leaders to mark that moment. What an amazing opportunity. And the project reflects a true partnership. You know, we're all working hand in hand to expand affordable home ownership opportunities for local communities. So we truly believe that building homes, building opportunities, the city of Key West is investing in the people who make our island home. So we're very excited about this opportunity.
Yes, Brian Barroso, City Manager, City of Key West on Good Morning Keys. Affordable housing tends to be a big topic, and it has been for quite some time in the City of Key West. And the city is making moves to address it piece by piece. And again, this partnership between the City of Key West Housing Authority, the Truman Foundation, the Bahama Village Redevelopment Advisory Committee, all working together to expand affordable home ownership opportunities for local families. That's quite a collaboration of entities coming together for this next project. So congratulations on that.
And we want to thank all of those, including Habitat for Humanity. So we understand how difficult this is, but it's really, truly, it's one of the city's 4 strategic priorities over the next 4 years. But we continue to collaborate and find opportunities to give back to this community. So yes, very excited about the future.
Yeah. And Brian, I know Habitat also works with the county in some of the land development and land acquisition initiatives. Was this also part of that movement, or was this apart from that?
No, I believe it's all inclusive. What made this one particularly unique was our ability to there's a lot of moving parts, but I would say what this particular project was unique was that the Key West Housing Authority had this physical location. For those who are unaware, it really takes 4 items, but 3 in particular to build housing. It takes land, it takes, we need to have our ROGO units or our BPAS units, and it takes financial stability and then the desire to do that. So in this particular case, we all came together to identify the land, to identify and foster our ability to partner. We had the funding available from the city, and then just the partnerships with our units available, our BPAS units. So very collaborative approach to identify locations in which we could continue to redevelop. So we're very excited. We believe candidly that this is the first of many that we're going to continue with this blueprint to rinse and repeat. So we need everybody. You can see all those entities came together, but we really truly need to continue to make, it's not hyperbole. Housing is truly a strategic priority for many, and we need to continue to show that through projects. We can't just be give it FaceTime and radio tags. We need to put time, energy, and effort behind it and show projects that can truly be pointed to as a KPI, as progression to the strategic plan. So we're very excited to be able to point to this one and then find how we could do this in other locations and rinse and repeat.
Yeah. Well, and I will bring up the point too that the mayor, even when she was a candidate, had talked about moving from just ongoing studies and funding for all of those to actually initiating and completing projects. And it appears that that is happening at the city and in the administration. So I wanted to highlight that and congratulate you and the administration for some of these efforts and accomplishments. Infrastructure as well. Fire station number 3 also has been talked about for quite a while. And it looks like City Commission has recently approved the next major step in rebuilding Fire Station 3 with an interim agreement with Fortress now moving into design and construction as well. So let's talk about where we are in that project.
Absolutely. So when you give out numbers, you're like, man, where is Fire Station 3? For those who are, not quite sure and speak the lingo. So this is our fire station on Kennedy Drive. It is one that has been identified, much needed, and truly is owed to our great men and women that work in that particular location. This is it. The conditions in which they've been operating are just less than, and we really truly wanted to push this project forward. We had the backing of the community because it was voted through referendum to fund it through bonds. So we've been through this, we've been bringing forward the mechanism in which to activate the bond to truly build this fire station. So that was passed. So now we're very excited. Yes, there is an interim agreement right now with Fortress. They were identified as the entity or the company that we would partner in doing this. And then we have a local company, which is K2M, that's going to be helping us as well. But the true first domino, so you're like, okay, well, when are we going to get started? When are we going to see it? So, well, we first have to establish a temporary location for the great men and women to continue to, keep our city safe and sound. So we actually have identified that location, and it's on Flagler Avenue and Venetia Drive, and it's with a great cooperation and collaboration with the Peace Covenant Church there. So we're very excited about the partnership there. So we've identified that location. We're actually working through the process to lease that location and then improve that location to the standards in which it could be turned into a temporary fire station. So that's going to be the first indication of our project moving forward as we begin the design build for Fire Station 3. But we are very, very happy and excited and eager to start. So I would say from a community perspective, what you may start seeing is the relocation of some equipment and items that are at Fire Station 3 as the first indication of this project starting.
Okay, well, yes, that has to move in phases, and the relocation and finding an alternate site is a big part of that, and that has been accomplished. So we'll continue to follow the progress as we work towards rebuilding Fire Station 3. Also, speaking of fire stations by their numbers, Station 2 on Simonton Street also has some challenges presented by localized flooding affecting both safety and mobility. So utility staff for the city has evaluated a stormwater injection well that could dramatically reduce the flooding there. So that project is being worked on also.
Michael, what a great indication of informed communities, access to government, and just collaboration. What we identified was a particular project that we believe we would have brought forward or could have brought forward as it pertains to our another strategic plan, which is financial stability for the city, which is identifying revenue opportunities. So what we brought forward was a workshop in conjunction with a potential proposition to build a parking garage, or really return the parking garage that was actually located on Simonton Street next to the fire station. So in that process and public feed forward, what we received was, whoa, there's some, hold on, before you build a garage, can you help us with the flooding? And then also some identified locations where there could have been some traffic concerns. So we took that opportunity to pause and really say, okay, we hear you, community. Thank you for the opportunity to take a look at it. So our utilities department did look into the flooding that was occurring there. Although our intent is, and we really want to be clear, we can't eliminate all the flooding because that's going to be a multi-phase approach. But what we did do is identify that the drainage was clogged. So, oh my God, you're right. And thank you for the opportunity and line of sight. So our team actually put a camera through, cleared the line. So great opportunity to identify and recognize our teammates for doing that. And then it did already improve the water flow in that area. But the identification of an actual pump station or lift station there or ejection well, it really is going to be something that is dovetailed into the possible construction of the garage. So it is a project. It is being stood up candidly in the future, but we want to make sure that if we do that project that significant, that it may have to be correlated or the nexus with the garage, or it could be a standalone project. But right now, we're pausing on any opportunity to bring that forward. We believe that we've identified an opportunity to help there. And right now, as well, I'll tell many people, there are a great number of projects in the city. So we've just re-racked and refocused on a different project right now. But it was a great example of hearing our community members, having workshops that provide access for communication, and then showing that we do listen and we continue to understand the importance of transparency, accountability, and collaboration.
So yes, this came out as a result of the public meeting on the garage on Simonton. Yes, indeed. All right. And then action.
Passionate, Michael, passionate meeting.
I was not there personally, but I could hear some of the voices up in the lower keys that day. Yeah, it was
passionate.
Passionate's a good way to go about it. Yes, indeed. And a good way to describe it. We'll put it spirited, I think is what I call it.
Spirited, exactly. But important and really an opportunity to show that this is how this particular leadership and administration would like to move forward. We show that we want to bring projects forward, but it's in collaboration, transparency, and we will continue to provide opportunity for community involvement and stakeholder ownership into these projects, because we would like a collaboration. That's truly our approach. So thank you. And we encourage many that if you would like, please be informed and give us an opportunity to give you information on what we bring forward.
Well, that's a healthy and constructive way to go about accepting not only criticism, but input. And again, station number 2, there's your update on where that stands currently. Again, it is Brian Barroso. He is city manager for the city of Key West. Good morning, Key. Speaking of collaboration, input, and involvement, the community partnerships of the Ambassador Program, that continues to be one of the city's strongest community building tools. Ambassador Class 44 now, wrapping up the 12-week journey with a roundtable discussion with the mayor and the commission. That is scheduled for next week. Graduation April 1st at the city commission meeting. So congratulations to those who are about to complete that 12-week course and journey in education.
I tell you, Michael, if yes, thank you for that recognition. And I want to use that as an opportunity to pause and recognize our teammates. So Allison Crean leads this particular program along with all the directors, because it gives the directors an opportunity to answer and field questions and just give a good, honest, transparent approach of how the city government is being run. We truly believe that when you connect residents and government, it really translates into a more informed community, and it's empowering to a community. So we really truly encourage this this particular program. It is one of the ones that we point to say, please come and give us an opportunity to give you the true, how is the sausage made at the city? Like, what is really going on? So a great recognition to Allison for leading it. Thank you to our team for providing access and candid conversations. I participated in several of them. I believe that this class was extremely active and engaged. So we're very excited to recognize them at next week's commission meeting as a graduation. And what we truly expect is that they go out and they are true ambassadors of the city. So when they hear what some would call noise or a narrative that may not track with their understanding, what we really believe them to be is have the information to say, well, I don't know if you have all the accurate information, or you may want to take this program coming up. Here's the process, and here's what we believe we attained going through it. So great opportunity to truly peel back the curtain and show how the city is run. Identify that we are real people here. We're not this, we out there, we live here, we are in the community, we're real people. We have feelings. So,
Yeah, there you go.
before
Yeah,
you pick up
it's not just
yeah.
AI behind the scenes.
No,
or
it's
whatever
not.
it
There's
is.
not bots here conducting the business of the city. So before you pick up a rock, how about pick up a hand and shake it and say, hey, can you help me understand why this? And we believe that approach is such an extremely healthy one. And you'll find that the individuals here are just like you. They want better for the city. They truly do. We want to build a great community and continue to bring better forward. We may have different approaches, we may have different processes, but I believe the desire to build better for our community exists among all of us. So let's just come together and we'll find that there's probably more that brings us together than pulls us apart.
Yes, very well put. Dialogue and understanding is always very productive and helpful, and mutual respect for one another is what we would ask as well. Brian Barroso with us, City Manager of the City of Key West, on Good Morning Keys. And by the way, as an aside, what does Allison Crean not do in the city?
I know. Award winning. How many people can say, man, we have an award winning public information officer who spends every single day trying to get the great messaging out and the great news out of what our city does. So, and she doesn't hear this enough. She's valued, appreciated among, I can't say enough about what she brings to the city. So if you have an opportunity to see her, please tell her thank you for the great work that she continues to do.
And she helps keep the media in the know as well, among many other things that she does ongoing. So thank you to Allison Crean. And by the way, Ambassador Class 24 will have introductions on Thursday to the Key West Police Department. That brings us to recognizing some of the team members. Key West Police Sergeant Nick Reveredo. I'm not sure if I have that correct, but I apologize if I mispronounced his last name. However, he's celebrating 20 years of dedicated service to the Key West Police Department. We mentioned the fire department, too, and we need to recognize Captain Tim Anson. He's been appointed the fire marshal. Walter Tiffany named Employee of the Quarter as well within the city team.
Well, I tell you, we can't do this enough. We cannot, as leaders, take a moment to recognize the great men and women that continue to perform in a very difficult environment, truly perform outstanding work in the service of others. So, yes, we continue to find avenues and paths forward for individuals here. So Tim Hanson is our new fire marshal. We're very excited. You'll hear in the future about what that transition has opened up. So there's been a few more promotions there. So we really feel excited about the movement and the opportunities that we are providing for our men and women at the fire station. Great recognition for the Key West Bravest, the men and women in blue. When you get to a teammate that spent 20 or plus years with our city, that is truly in the service of others. So we could not say, to Sergeant Nick, we could not recognize him enough. And then obviously we do Employees of the Quarter and Employee of the Year. And if you don't know Walter around the city, you're missing out, because Walter he does everything here. So, and does it more importantly with an attitude that is infectious. So a great opportunity to identify Walter. But what I would really encourage is the city has actually released its 2024-2025 annual report that it is available on our website. So it does provide a full look of accomplishments. It really outlines our financial stewardship, and then it points to some future priorities. So I encourage everyone to go out to our website, take a look at the annual report. It does spotlight our directors and our departments, and it gives us a great opportunity, again, to humanize the city. We're not we're not this conglomerate that hey, come find out and get to know your city. And we continue to provide avenues of access. So really encourage that, and we want to make sure that we have transparency there.
Yeah, and Meet the Mayor, Mondays, 2 o'clock, 2 to 4 o'clock, people participating in that. It is easy to cast stones at people that you don't know and don't have a relationship with, but building those relationships between the city administration, City Hall, and the constituents is something that we're continuing to strive for, and cooperative partnerships is really what we would like to see.
Long before it became popular, we provided both two touch points for access to leadership. So the mayor has had that candidly for a while. And then also we have coffee with the CM every other Tuesday that has access to the city manager. So we encourage both to be utilized. One of the biggest things that came out just from experience and feed forward when we're both new to leadership here. So we really gave it an opportunity to understand, okay, well, what can we be doing better? And one of the biggest aspects was just access to leadership. So individuals could come in and talk and express what they're passionate about and what they would like our help with. Now, what I would preface is you may not always hear, what you would like to hear, but what we want to make sure you are feeling is heard and recognized. There's a lot of priorities, and we are tasked with, we represent all. So when individuals come in and, they're centered on their particular item, which is extremely important. It's measured through a lens and a mechanism of, okay, well, we still have a responsibility to all, and we also have to identify what we are able to deliver. So you may not always hear what you like. You may you may not like what you hear, but what I would ensure is that you have access to be heard and understood.
Yes, very important. Brian Barroso, City Manager, City of Key West, on Good Morning Keys, and brilliant strategy. I know the mayor for a while was offering chocolate to visitors who came to see you. You're offering coffee. I can't see.
Yes.
And
boy, we get, they treat it like Starbucks. I need, used to just be a cup of Joe, some Maxwell House, Michael. I guess I'm dating myself, some Sanka.
I get it. Oh man, that is going back. Yes.
We get some special orders, some macchiatos. I say, I'm not a barista now. Come on.
Yeah, really. I tell you, people have high expectations, but nonetheless, you're accommodating them as best you can. Yeah.
Exactly. I say it's less about the coffee and more about the communication.
Yes, understood. And two final notes here real quickly. The Comprehensive Safety Action Plan, Key West Vision Zero Roadmap to reduce and ultimately eliminate roadway fatalities. City Commission has approved that as well.
Very excited about that. Our last commission, we had a partnership with the University of Florida. So all you Gators out there, go Gators. I would say that's
controversial, maybe.
Well, you're coming from a Seminole. That's controversy. But
yes.
I do have to recognize the great work that was performed. So we had a collaboration there, and we understand the importance of this safety action plan and the significance of it. So just know that we're really trying to show that we have some dedicated individuals here. We have strong leadership here, and Key West continues to deliver service with purpose. And the purpose behind this is that we do want to make our road where, an individual here told me, he will remain nameless. He said, man, what happens here is we walk the most than anywhere else. We bike the most than anywhere else, and we drink the most anywhere else. And he says, so we got to be very careful about our action plan and our safety. So we're really trying to make sure that, our community understands that we are dedicated to creating safety and soundness here, especially in travel for all individuals, both local and tourists. So this was a much needed approval, and we're very excited from the commission that they backed this opportunity. And we want to again say thank you to the University of Florida for partnering with us and the great teammates that put some time, energy, and effort into bringing this forward. We're very happy and excited to have this in place. And now the key with any plan is that it doesn't just sit on the shelf, that we put that plan in backed with purpose.
Indeed. Well, Brian, I wanted to make the mention here quickly that on a programming note, this program is now run on Keys Living TV, locally channel 27 at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. so people can hear your comments in our conversation again on television locally, as well as on Roku streaming and on an app available for free at the App Store, Keys Living TV. So we wanted to make sure that people were aware that our conversations are available additionally, again, several times a day on other platforms here locally. But you have the floor if you'd like to provide a closing message because you've been very, very generous with your time. We appreciate that. I know your time is precious, but you have the closing statement.
Well, I appreciate that, Michael. So I would say, let me just drop one more nugget. And
Sure.
For those that like, man, what, what do they really do over there? So let me tell you how your city is in action. So
Yes.
through the great work of the mayor, myself, we have our individual that is designated for our legislative type of support from a local perspective. But our recent visit to Tallahassee with Florida Keys Day yielded an amazing opportunity to advocate for funding. So just for general understanding, when we left Tallahassee on this past visit, we'll know, the true test of our effort is, okay, well, what did we receive? So we're eagerly anticipating that, but we applied for $5 million in stormwater. In particular, but not limited to, we identified a lift station that would service our main artery on Duval Street. So we're really trying to take the desire of improving that location from a safety and soundness perspective and put it into practice. So we did request $5 million for our lift station there. That would start that project. We did have and identified a request for $3 million for the landfill, affectionately known as Mount Trashmore. We're really trying to understand how to safely and soundly, as it aligns with another strategic plan, which is, environmental protection. We really want to understand how can we remediate. Is there an avenue in which we can start to do something with that particular location and dovetail it into housing? That's really, again, an identification of land that we would need. We did request $1,500,000 from the House and $500 from the Senate for separate projects that are dovetailed and identified into infrastructure, so aligning with our strategic priority. And then the remaining $2 million was for our stewardship money, which is ongoing in Monroe County. Entities apply for that. So a total of $11 million. Again, the stewardship is infrastructure and resiliency. So we left Tallahassee with $11 million advocated for and applied for. And then we followed that up. The mayor and I and Todd Stoughton went to Washington, D.C. and met with several individuals, but in particular, not limited to Congressman Jimenez. And we asked for and advocated for requests of $3.8 million for our FDOT Jose Martin project. That from a community perspective is going to be the next project that individuals see with their own eyes. So the total project, the price tag is $8 million to the city. So we are asking for half of that. And again, we'll find out whether we were able to get that, but that was requested and applied for. In addition to, we met with the Department of Justice. So DOJ has 2 grant submittals from us, and they're valued approximately around $375 that look and feel like they would go and identify with the great men and women at our police department. So from that particular visit to Washington, we have close to over $4 million. So we're really excited about the advocacy. When there is a narrative out there, or there's some noise out there, or just there's information, what I used to say when I was a professor is, hey, source the source now. We are not raising taxes. We are not. Okay. We are not raising taxes. So if you hear raising taxes, and then it's filled any blank that looks and feels like the city manager or the team or the staff, or we're not raising taxes. What we are actively doing is trying to reduce taxes. And I would say a final message would be our particular plan is to bring back and propose to the commission for approval a rollback minus budget. A rollback minus budget. So you heard it here first, Michael.
Yes.
Tomorrow's headlines today.
Yes.
So if anyone out there hears raising taxes, I really want them to come and click on this and say, well, that's not what I heard now. So, and then, hey, let me source the source. Let me get more informed. Let me understand what that truly means. And then we could really get granular and unpack it as we go through our budget process. But that's our plan. Our plan is to present a rollback minus budget. Our plan is to continue to advocate and apply for grant funding, both state and federal, to help reduce the obligation to our community. Reduce, okay? Not augment, reduce. But we do have things that we need to do. So keep in mind, like, this is paradise. It's palm trees and pelicans, but it costs to get things done. And the longer we delay and we pause and we don't address infrastructure, resiliency, environment, financial stability, and housing, it just becomes, that price tag continues to increase. And keep in mind, it is an ever-changing environment. We do not know, legislative wise, what comes down to us to have to pivot and adjust to. So just know that we're on top of it. We're being very transparent about the process, but right now, from affordable housing to emergency service, to flood mitigation, community engagement, roadway safety, Key West, the city of Key West, continues moving forward with transparency, collaboration, and a commitment to improving life for every resident. We believe this is your city. It's your community. It's like your Key West. So we're working every day to protect what matters most.
Yeah. Well, and we'll see what the result of an eventual budget, excuse me, on the state level ends up being and the impacts it has on the city. But it sounds like the city's trying to get ahead of that as well with the requests that have already been made. So, Brian, yes, thank you for the transparency you provided today and continue to provide ongoing. We try to make this platform available so that people can get the truth from the source itself, in this case being you, directly from the city manager's office. So we really do appreciate your accessibility and willingness to talk directly to the constituents here.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Well, I know I've taken up a lot of your time. Anything else that we missed talking about? I think we covered it for today.
I do. I think we have. And if there is something that is on someone's mind, we encourage you to leverage the avenues that will provide you access, and because we want you to be informed. So again, source to source, there's a lot going on. It's a political environment. So there's going to be a great deal of information that is out there. What we want you to do is be informed, make informed decisions, but let's do it with accurate information. So if you're unsure, not sure, uninformed, misinformed, then provide the individuals the ability to give you source data.
Yes.
What we would believe is our message is backed by facts, truth, and data. So let us give you that information, and then you can make and render your own decision.
Yep. City of Key West-fl.gov is where you go to the city website. You'll see alerts there. You'll see updates, a number of other resources available to you. Brian, thank you so much for being here this morning and for your service to our community. We will see you in a few hours, actually.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
You take care.
Yes, sir. You do the same. Brian Barroso, City Manager, City of Key West. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys will return in a moment.
There is more Good Morning Keys in just a matter of moments and just a matter of hours. We're going to take you directly to Jamaica. The property is Sandals, and Ochi is in their portfolio in Jamaica right now. The tape for broadcasting live, it's going to be Wanda Kiefer. And Wanda, I can't wait to talk to you in depth at 4:31 this afternoon in Jamaica. How's it going out there right now?
Wow, it is beautiful. I mean, the sun is out. I've had 2 cups of Blue Mountain coffee already this morning.
There you go.
We're hitting the beach, maybe the pools this afternoon. It's just paradise. I don't know what else to say.
Wanda's company is All Seasons Vacations, allseasonsvacations.net. And here's the deal. Wanda, you and I are going to talk about, you've got 2 couples, you got plenty of couples in tow with you right now, but you put together vacations for a Pennsylvania couple and also a couple from North Carolina. They're in travel with you right now.
Correct.
The couple out of North Carolina is particularly interesting because so close to Florida, and they're interested in traveling with you. How did they find you, Wanda?
So they actually used to live in Pennsylvania, and they moved to the Carolinas a couple years ago, and we've just kind of been staying in contact every once in a while. And last year, I took them with us to Barbados. They fell in love with that resort and that Sandals property, and then decided it was going to be a yearly thing. So let's go. So I convinced them to try Jamaica, and here we are. We're in Jamaica. So I'm not sure where the next one's going to be, but we're already planning that.
See, this is what you love. Once you go with Wanda and her company, All Seasons Vacations, you'll go again and again and again. And that's the deal right now with the 2 couples that Wanda's referencing right now from North Carolina and from Pennsylvania. We're in Jamaica, and you're going to hear the rest of the story this afternoon, 4:31. Make it a date, 4:31 this afternoon here on Keys Talk with Wanda Kiefer. And don't wait till then. Book your own travel, allseasonsvacations.net, allseasonsvacations.net.
It's late, you're hungry, Or maybe it's noon and you're thirsty. Either way, relax. Your problem is officially solved. Say hello to Boardwalk Bar and Grill, mile marker 31 at Big Pine Key. The spot serving up great food, ice cold drinks, and a full day of fun that doesn't quit when the sun goes down. From juicy burgers and fall off the bone ribs to pizzas, seafood, and a gourmet breakfast every Saturday and Sunday from 9 to noon. Whatever you're craving, Boardwalk Bar and Grill's got it covered. Plus, check out great nightly features, including $1 wings all day Sundays while supplies last, Trivia Mondays, as well as Boardwalk's Oso Buco special, Charity Poker Tuesdays, Jam Night Wednesdays, Live Music Thursdays with Paul Weston, and Friday Night Karaoke. Liquid Courage sold separately. Boardwalk Bar and Grill is for the locals, by the locals. Friendly faces, great energy, owners who care, and some of the best late night food in the Keys. Boardwalk Bar and Grill, mile marker 31, Big Pine Key. Eat, drink, hang out, repeat. Join Keys Talk 96.9 102.5 for a live broadcast this Friday, March 27th from noon to 1 at Blue Marlin Jewelry's Key West location, 718 Caroline Street. We'll highlight and speak with leaders from leading charitable and nonprofit organizations in our community. Enjoy food courtesy of Old Town Bakery Key West and visit with Armando Gonzalez and the helpful team at Blue Marlin Jewelry who'll help you select the perfect piece of jewelry. A special Community Connection Spotlight live broadcast this Friday from noon to 1 at Blue Marlin Jewelry, 718 Caroline Street, Key West. With Keys Talk 96.9 102.5, the talk of the Keys.
If it's happening in the Keys, you will hear about it here. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9 102.5.
And Good Morning Keys, Keys Talk 96.9 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And it is, wow, the 25th of March already. Almost Easter, as a matter of fact, coming to us. We're going to say good morning to Rhonda Haig from Monroe County. And great to see you again, Rhonda. How are you?
Yes, good morning. I'm fine, thank you.
And
Happy to be here.
Great. Thanks for being here. Chief Resilience Officer. Did I get it correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Wonderful. Well, resilience is a big topic, and there's a lot going on in terms of resilience in the county. We have several projects that are underway, and please do provide us with an update on those currently.
Sure. So since the last time we talked, we had some that were about to start, but now they're actually underway. So the first one is the county's first, like we discussed it before, the Living Shoreline Project. That's at Long Key, down by Layton, where our waste transfer station is. So there's a really low area there. And so what we're doing is building the Long Key Living Shoreline, where there'll be some concrete structures in there that will help stop the waves from hitting the shoreline. And then beyond that, there'll be some natural plantings. And that's underway already. So if people are interested, during the daylight hours, they can stop in at the transfer station and say they'd like to see the project and stop in and see it. So we're really excited about that. That will be wrapping up in June.
Yeah.
And then another one we gave a notice to proceed was the Duck Key breakwater repair and Living Shoreline. So we don't quite have the federal permit yet, but we're expecting that any day. We had a really nice meeting with the sanctuary last week about getting our final permit. And so they're buying all their Living Shoreline materials too, because there's a piece of that that's Living Shoreline, and they're that's a local vendor, LPS. So we only have until June 30th to get that work done. It's $3 million worth of work. So they're going to be doubling up on the crews. We expect that to start any day now. We're just, like I said, waiting for that final permit.
So with the deadlines then, they have to be completed within that time frame or the funding goes away? Is that how
the funding goes away on June 30th for Duck Key and Long Key, no matter how far we've gotten. They will pay us for whatever work we've gotten done. So if it doesn't get done, they'll pay us for whatever we do get done. But yes, unfortunately, those are federal dollars. There's all kind of federal pots, but that particular pot funding those two projects, work has to stop June 30th.
Interesting. A little bit of stress involved with that.
A little bit. Yep. The vendor actually has his CEO lives on Duck Key, so he's doubly interested in helping his neighbors, be more resilient. That's a big project. So they're ready to go. And they're also the same vendor that's doing the Tavernier breakwater just a couple miles up the road. But because they're now doubling up on their crews, it might even be tripling up on the Duck Key one. Tavernier breakwater is going to have to hold off now until the 1st of July until they're until they're done with Duck Key. So the Tavernier breakwater, it's going to go a little bit longer. We have federal funds that can be extended on that one.
Yeah, Duck Key's seen a number of improvements, including to the resort
Yeah.
there as well. It's a lovely,
And
lovely.
some bridges. I believe Judy
Yeah,
Clark, our
yeah.
engineer, is helping out with the bridges down there. So it'll be like a whole new and improved island.
Wow. Rhonda Higgs, Chief Resilience Officer for the Monroe County. When you say living shoreline, Rhonda, for those who don't understand, what does that mean?
Yeah. So what you have a really low shoreline, and instead of building like a big seawall there, which is what we call a hardened shoreline, a living shoreline is in the water itself. So what we're doing right now is we're pouring what are called wave attenuation devices, and I was supposed to bring one today and I couldn't find it.
Oh.
So they're basically like concrete structures that look like this. They're kind of like, they can be any shape, but they can be like this, and then they have holes in them. And the water hits up upon the concrete in the holes, and it breaks the wave action without having this formal wall against, like a seawall against the shoreline. And then we plant native plants among those wave attenuation devices. And what that happens is it protects the shoreline more naturally. It still breaks the waves from coming in, but without that fully hardened structure that you're looking at with, a seawall.
Very good.
It's really cool. We hope to do a lot more of them. The state is a really big supporter of these, and I know we'll get future grants on these. I'm already looking at what we can apply for this August.
Excellent. Well, again,
Yeah.
we appreciate you keeping your eye on all of that and
Yeah.
bringing our priorities forward as we
We got-
continue to try to keep things fully resilient here in the Keys. And I'll remind folks that you can actually watch our conversation here on Keys Living TV. Speaking of living, it's channel 27 locally, as well as on Roku streaming and free downloadable apps at your favorite app store for Keys Living TV, because Rhonda and I plan on playing some show and tell over the next few years as well, so we can see
I'll
exactly.
bring pictures.
Well, yeah, what's happening with resiliency as well. So a number of different projects that neighborhoods may feel that they need or may actually need in terms of resiliency could be made available to them through some of the new ordinances and movement by the dais overall as well, and talk about that. Explain that once again, how that works in terms of neighborhood projects and the need for those.
Sure. So you've heard me on here many times talking about all the projects we're doing that are grant funded, that are basically county projects. Well, now the residents, they don't have to wait for the county to come up with the project. If there's something in their neighborhood that they want to see better, like maybe they want some lighting or some sidewalk or maybe a small piece of road improvement, they can come to the county and say, hey, we're interested in improving our neighborhood in this way. And then what we do is we meet with the residents. The requirement behind this is that they have to agree, 50%, 51% of the residents have to agree that this is a project they want to do, and that ultimately they will fund the project. So the county will fund a project up front, but then we get paid back through an assessment. And that can be a long-term assessment, like 20 years, so that we can spread the payments out over a period of time to help keep it affordable.
And there's also a hardship program available too, speaking of affordability.
So we understand that, there are people that live on Social Security or very minimal income. And so some people, they may vote no, but if the majority votes yes, we will move forward. So for those that can afford it, we have what's called a financial hardship deferral. What that means is people that meet the minimum, don't go above what the minimum income limits are. And this time we're doing a minimum low income, whatever the county income is for low. So if they meet those income requirements, they'll be able to not pay that annual assessment. It's not that it will go away, but what we'll do is we'll just defer it. So it'll build up on their property as a lien. And then every year it just builds up as a year. Then you don't have to pay it until the death or the sale of that property. And so that way it helps them get out of it. And then the county pays their share every year out of county funds, and then the county's reimbursed. It could be decades later, actually, until the sale of the house. So it really helps the people that can't afford it, because we didn't want to move forward with a program, that some of the people couldn't afford.
Yeah. Well, that'll be an ongoing process whereby the neighborhoods do have a say in their own destiny. So
yes, they do.
That's a good solution for projects that will benefit specific areas and how they can move forward with that. Again, Rhonda Higgs, she's the Chief Resilience Officer for Monroe County on Good Morning Keys. Any other projects that we should talk about here currently, or grant funding? I know it seems like we're pursuing grants almost year round. Is that
We
correct?
do. We do pursue grants year round, different pots of money. The Rock Harbor one, I forgot to mention earlier, that they're going to start next week on April 1st. So we're really excited about that one. We
Excellent.
had to wait until the staging area was available. It's a residential home with a big yard. And so there was being rented out on a vacation rental. So April 1st, that one will be starting up in Key Largo. And so we're really excited about that one. Canal 82, which is also right there at Rock Harbor, will be starting when that breakwater is repaired. Again, it's the same vendor, so you have to stack them concurrently because they don't have that much staff to do 2 or 3 projects at once.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Well, I appreciate the updates here this morning. I also appreciate your very tranquil background there.
Oh, thank
Assuming
you.
you're not actually there, but it's
I wish. It's Little Palm Island, a beautiful place. And if our listeners haven't been there, you can go there and have Sunday brunch. It's very beautiful and relaxing and very good food, and I highly recommend it.
all right. Well, a little endorsement there. Yes, I've heard terrific things about that as well. There's so many wonderful spots.
Oh, there are everywhere.
Yes,
Mhm.
and you and your team continue to make sure that they remain resilient for generations to come. So we thank you for that.
And thank you.
Yes. All right. I think that does it. Unless there's anything else we need to mention, we will let you get on with a very busy Wednesday.
I'm good. And
Okay.
thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Rhonda. And thanks for your patience here this morning and being here. We will talk again very soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye now. It is Rhonda Haig. She is the Chief Resilience Officer, make that, for Monroe County. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys, and developments all over the place, worldwide, of course. And you need to stay informed and engaged. We will help you do just that with breaking news as soon as it happens. Local, state, national news updated at least every half hour. Weather at once as we join Glenn Beck.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold delicious ground coffee always brewing and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in-store with 24 hours advance notice. And enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in-store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. OldTownBakeryKeyWest.com.
Tree limb striking power lines is a top cause of power outages in the Florida Keys. While Keys has a robust tree trimming program to keep outages to a minimum, with your help, our efforts can go further. If you're planting a new tree, consider how tall the mature tree will be and choose a location where it won't interfere with power lines. Keep your trees trimmed at least 10 feet from all power lines. And if your tree is already growing near power lines, do not attempt to trim it yourself. Instead, submit a request at KeysEnergy.com and we will trim it for you free of charge. At Keys Energy, we're working to keep us all safe and the lights on.
Key West authentic Irish pub, dining, and rooftop lounge is Celtic Conch Public House, 528 Front Street. The Celtic Conch always features delicious Irish cuisine and tasty pub grub with more than 40 Irish whiskeys, specialty cocktails, and local drafts. Ask about their daily food specials, plus the best in live entertainment. Monday, Milo plays from 5 to 8. Then it's Dean Dunleavy from 8 to 11. Tuesday, test your knowledge with trivia from 7 to 9, and Corey Hill plays live from 6:30 to 9:30. Wednesday features Just George from 8 to 11. Thursday, Milo is back from 4 to 7. Friday, Dean Dunleavy returns from 5 to 8, and then Milo entertains from 8 to 11. Saturday, come back for Dave Minneberg from 5 to 8, and Just George from 8 to 11. Then Sunday, Tony Roberts plays from 3 to 6. Celtic Conch Public House, 528 Front Street, Key West. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Salancha.
Keys are the center, the Keys hometown dealership. Hey folks, Stephen Bender at Key West Cadillac. Experience the precision and presence of the new Cadillac lineup, from the iconic Escalade to the refined XT5 and performance-driven CT5. And with our local deal match guarantee, you can move forward with confidence. So come see the people you know, like, and trust at Key West Cadillac on the Boulevard, or visit KeyWestCadillac.com. We've got the keys.